And it says that we are live.
Eee.
Hooray.
Did we get a link for the new stream?
Yeah, I got you. You can watch the video feed here. I just put out an announcement. There we go. Hello. Can people hear us? Are things working? I always like to check before I just start rambling.
Into the void.
Is anyone alive out there?
Yeah.
Hello!
Peter K says hi. I'm gonna guess that people can hear us.
I've turned on the volume on the stream.
They do hear us. Yeah, okay. Then we are good. So hello. Yes, this is going to be the part 3 of the Titanic Honor and Glory demo that just came out yesterday and just had a bug fix thing come out literally 20 minutes ago that makes certain things work much more smoothly. I see people already excited for second class. I'm excited for that as well. But before we jump in, I just wanted to at least take a moment to introduce who all of us are. So I'm Shane. I'm one of the developers for Titanic Voyage. And if you don't know what that is, there will be a link in the description of this video once it's actually up on YouTube. But Titanic Voyage is a role-playing game. Every year we recreate the voyage of the Titanic from April 10th through the sinking and then the rescue on the Carpathia and all the way till we get in New York on April 18th. You should definitely play it. It's a really great game, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. That's not the focus of this stream. So that's who I am. And with me we've got, let's do Remy first. Do you want to introduce yourself, Remy?
I'm Remy, and I am your faithful Titanic Voyage RPG Facebook / Instagram / YouTube / social media guy.
Yeah, he does all the trailers. Most of the stuff you see on social media is from him. He's way better at that than I am, and I always write stuff up and send it to him to clean up. He's great. And we've got Francis as well.
Hi, I'm Francis, and I'm also one of the developers.
Yeah, Francis is very much like the idea person. You always come to us with great ideas, sometimes in the form of demands, but they're always for the better of the game. And last but not least, we also have someone who goes by many names. You might know them as Goose, might know them as Bear. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Goose Bear. I mostly I try to break the game. That's mostly my job. I get handed the mostly complete game and I'm told, hey, try to break this, and then I typically find errors in it and say, hey, I broke it within 5 minutes of being handed it, and then they have to fix everything that I just broke. I'm the bug finder. Sometimes even in the middle of the week that we play.
That's very true. You find broken stuff in every game. So, yes.
My talent.
That's who we are. And we're also, well, 3 of us at least are pretty big Titanic fans. One of us is here because I drag you here.
I support your interest. I love you.
And that's that. So I don't want to take too long just sitting here in this menu. So we're going to go ahead and just load right in. And we're going to be exploring night mode primarily because it looks better than the day mode right now. The day mode they're going to update in the future at some point to look better, but for now it's a little rough in some regards. I think I need to change one of the settings, so give me a moment. Probably should have done that in the main menu, actually. But...
Oh, I'm professional.
Yeah, I know. Almost like I just downloaded this build of the demo a couple minutes ago, you know? There. So I think this should be the smoothest video that I can get, hopefully. We did some testing right before this, but it was on a different build, so if things are choppy or laggy, let me know, and I can try and modify some more settings to make it better. Quickly taking a look at the chat. People are excited for second class. That's where we're starting today, so you'll get to see it right away. You've seen videos on Titanic Voyage and think it looks interesting? Yes, you should definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. Assuming that the video feed is smooth, we can get started.
It looks
First
pretty
thing,
smooth to me.
first thing we see is the mast. Yeah. So I don't want to. Yeah, the library's right there. It's my favorite room, but I don't want to start there. We're actually going to go up a little bit first. I think we should start around here. And just because I'm trying to make this smooth for the stream, you might see a little bit of like things not loading in immediately. But there are settings now. If you download this yourself, you can play around with these level streaming settings, and there's different versions that might work better and reduce a lot of this pop-in loading for you. But I'm just trying to make sure that you can actually see the thing, so I'm not using that right now. My computer is not the best to stream and run high-end settings like that. So yeah, someone pointed out the mast. Here's the mast, and this is the aft second-class staircase. The mast does go through it, which kind of looks a little funny, but I kind of like it. I think it's charming. You can get a really cool angle, like out here, seeing the main mast and just seeing it go through the door. Continue on down there. Very smooth video. Nice, okay. That's what I was most worried about. I know for a long time, in the Titanic Voyage at least, which we use images from this demo. We're partnered with the Titanic Honor and Glory people. For a long time we didn't have any images of these rooms, and now we can see almost all of them thanks to the team behind this demo. And I always really like this angle here. It's probably like my favorite angle of this room. Also cool if you kind of center it a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a really cool staircase.
It's a lot different than what I think a lot of people who ended up playing Titanic Adventure at a time are going to be. I think there's going to be a bit of culture shock.
Yeah, oh yeah. It looks so different than Adventure Out of Time. Before we get down to there, let's go first this way. So this is a second class bit of deck space. This is a promenade that they have. Down there would be third class, which we'll get to eventually. This gate would be closed for most of the time though, so passengers wouldn't really go between the two. This up here is exclusively second class, and through these windows you have the second class smoking room that we'll look at in just a moment. And then up here is another second class staircase. A lot of people are always very surprised to find out that there's two staircases. Again, probably like you said, Remy, because in Adventure Out of Time there's only one, which is this one, by the way. So this would be the staircase from Adventure Out of Time, and yeah, it looks way different. I want to see some comparison photos. In fact, that would be a lot of fun to do. But this staircase does have an elevator. So second class had an elevator as well. And I mean, I don't know. Again, it's a really cozy landing. My favorite thing about second class is just how wide open it really is. Like, I can be here in the staircase, and you can see through this window into the second class smoking room, through another window over there to the outer decks, and through yet another window into the aft staircase. And so just being able to see these kind of viewpoints that look through so many rooms is something you really don't get in the other classes too much. That's probably one of my favorite parts of it. kind of peeked into it a bunch. Let's actually go into the smoking room.
I think the colors are just the best in second class too.
Yeah. I like the natural wood walls, and I know it's a bit of a debate on this floor. My opinion is that I actually don't mind it that much anymore because it does match the colors of the room pretty well, like the furniture at least. It's very 8-bit looking to us, but what I always say is back in 1912, they would have had no concept of that at all. They would have just thought it was a pretty pattern. So to us it looks 8-bit and weird, but to them it probably is just, oh, that's a nice pattern. Let's read some of the comments real quick. We will be going back to first class. That's probably the last area we're going to explore, since we've explored it previously. But we will get there. Suffers from the curse. Yeah, again, the linoleum. It's not my favorite, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. All second-class exterior spaces are in this demo? Yes, they are. Let's walk around the room a little as I'm reading.
This looks so cozy and warm.
I know, right?
That's what I like about second class, is that it's like, no offense, but I think first class is a little gaudy.
It definitely is.
And third class is a little bit cold and manufactured. Second class just looks very
I really love
warm.
these couches, by the way.
They don't look too comfy, but
Probably not, but just the whole arrangement around them. It's like you sit on it, it's like your throne, you know? No debate.
The thing with
first
first class is that it was designed for opulence, and that, I mean, was literally the standard of the time. Where second class, trying to think of a good present day comparison. Those would be, I mean, literally your middle class families who would be used to, I mean, nothing over the top. You know, the second class feels homey because it's precisely where almost all of us, if we were sailing on Titanic, would probably have ended up.
That's true.
it's comfortable.
Yeah, and one of the things I saw that really kind of resonated with me is about this room in particular. So this room seems much more designed to be like a sociable space, more so than first class. First class seems more like, I don't know, like these tables are all very close to one another. You could easily just sit down and have conversations with people at other tables. First class is a little more like distant, maybe more meant for, yeah, cliques and private friend groups and stuff like that. This is more like, hey, a bunch of business people are going to be in this room. They can just pull up chairs real close to one another and talk, even though they're not at the same table. And I could definitely see some of that here. It's definitely not as large as the first class smoking room, but second class is probably the smallest class on board. It had a lot of capacity to be overbooked or underbooked even sometimes. So it's probably the most flexible class of them all in terms of the amount of people it could support. So let's go back down, and we will go into the library now, although I will first catch up on... I wonder where Lawrence Beasley sat? Who knows? One of the chairs in here. Do we plan to use exterior images for the game? All I'm going to say is that you will see exterior images somewhere, but I'm not going to say where or when or anything else about that. You will see them though. No matter what class you're in, you'll get a chance. Don't worry. So this is the library, which has always been my favorite room. I kind of just walked in here as I was answering questions, I know, but again, it's very sociable. There's a lot of chairs that are kind of close to one another. You could very easily imagine people just pulling chairs up to different tables or sitting at a table and talking with someone somewhere else.
I have a question, and maybe none of you know, or maybe you all know. But why is it called a library when there's no books?
There are books in this one.
There are? Where?
There's a bookshelf right here.
Well, okay, let me wait 30 seconds for the stream to catch up.
Yeah, forget that you're behind. So Lawrence Beasley mentioned, I do know, watching kids play out on the promenade. And in my opinion, like, I could see that happening. I could see that happening if you were sitting in like one of these side seats almost. Or even like just in a chair like this looking out at the promenade itself. Maybe even over here, I don't know. It depends. The kids could be playing anywhere on this enclosed promenade around it, so it's really hard to say exactly where he could have been sitting, but I would guess probably somewhere near the outer edge of the room. Especially since I think he talks about writing a lot, and there are these writing desks around the edges of the room. So it's probably at one of these writing desks would be my guess. First class also had sociable arrangements. Yes, like the Parisian, yeah, that's a very sociable arrangement for sure. On the topic of your question about the library, though, one thing that's always bothered me is that it's called the reading and writing room, and yet you don't have access to any books within it. There's no bookshelf in there.
I think that's more what I was like.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to go in the lounge to get books, which is probably why the lounge is more popular. Yeah, someone mentions that library panels do still exist. I think they're the panels from the Britannic, if I'm not mistaken, that never were fitted onto the ship since it was converted to a hospital ship. Maybe some from the Olympic too. I'm not sure. But on the topic of the panels, that's one of the reasons I really like this room, is because it's got such a unique style with these darker woods near the bottom, and then the lighter woods near the top.
I was about to say, that's a light wood on top.
Yeah. It's a dark wood on the lower section, a light wood on top, and that's not something... This particular style, at least, isn't used anywhere else on board, I think, to my knowledge. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But... So yeah, I could spend a lot of time in this room, but we'll keep moving on because we've got a lot to see. But it's probably one of my favorites. Actually, one more thing I will highlight is just, again, how open it is. You've got these windows looking out onto the forward stairs here. You've got windows looking out onto the aft stairs here. So even though it's kind of a small and enclosed space, it feels very big and open because of that. Here we're back in the forward stairs again, and actually the elevator is open here. I kind of like the look of it. I mean, it's very small, but it's a darker wood style. I think it's pretty. And again, another luxury to second class that first class even didn't have is that this elevator would go all the way up to the boat deck, where we can go real quick. So it would come up to B deck. There's no landing on A deck because there's nothing on A deck. It's just a pass-through on the way up. And then up here we have the boat deck landing of these stairs, which you probably again know from Adventure Out of Time quite well. And the elevator would take you here too. First class would only go up to A deck, not all the way up to the boat deck like this. So it's kind of interesting that they had something that first class didn't. And we can explore out here, but we're gonna keep going down before we go up, so let's run back to where we were. And then head down to D deck real quick. Second class were allowed. Yeah, they could tour first class before departure. That's a very good point. I think that's how Lawrence Beasley was photographed in the gymnasium, I think. Right? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, we are. Talking about ones from Olympic. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, no, I know they had a large part of the boat deck accessible. I'm just saying they didn't have an elevator that went up to the boat deck. It would only go up to A deck. I know that Britannic's elevator would have gone to the boat deck for them. Oh, I'm again reading comments and stuff. This is the second-class dining saloon, which is probably my favorite of all of them. Again, I just really like the colors in here. Yes, no more Roblox boat deck second-class staircase image. Something we all are very excited for. Waited so long to have images for that space. You have no idea. So actually I can run back over here real quick because as the sign points out, on Sundays they would have divine service in here. And I think that's the only reason this piano's here. I don't think it actually was ever played during their meals. I think the band would play at the piano one deck up on C deck, primarily. One thing I see a lot of people comment about is how there's chairs with nothing in front of them, like this. They think that that's a mistake somehow, but that's actually accurate. Again, like I said before, second class was a very flexible class, so sometimes it could be overbooked. And if it was, the tables could be extended using, I think, leafing to actually make these seats usable. So these seats were here for those instances where second class ended up being overbooked. I forget exactly how many more people they could seat then, but...
Are the chairs, like, nailed to the floor?
Yeah, I think so. They could kind of rotate, so you could walk up, spin it to face you, sit in it, and then just, you know, circle back around. And I think most of the saloons, maybe not the restaurant, I'm not sure there, but at least here in first class and maybe third class too, the chairs were all bolted down. And I think in most of the public rooms, the tables were bolted down, but not the chairs, so that you could, again, slide your chair a little bit or go pull another one up to someone's table, but the tables themselves are kind of locked in. But I may be wrong on that. Let's just go down a bit further first. There's not much more to see down here. We do have the second class purser's office, which I think is in a very weird place. Imagining like a line of people here to ask the purser questions as people are trying to walk down the stairs. I don't know. It's a strange design in my opinion. But it's here. There's some water fountains here, which is interesting. There should be a path forward here, but some of these areas are incomplete, the models, so there's some inaccuracies around these deeper spaces especially. I mean, we get some second-class cabin corridors, which are great. That's Scotland Road, where we'll go in a little bit. Telly's pivoting sidelights. Actually didn't know that. This is, well, we'll get to that in a moment. I forget whose room that was. I could find out. I think it's the purser? No. That's the assistant second class steward's room. And this kind of frosted glass window looking into his room is something that we will see again in a moment. If we run back up to Edic, sure, we can sprint through Scotland Road a little bit to get back to here. This is the E-deck landing of the forward staircase. And this over here is the second class entrance, one of them. I think... I'm actually not sure when this one would have been used, honestly. I know they had entrances at different heights and sizes for different kinds of ports, but I'm really not sure when this particular one would have ever been used. And this here is the chief second class steward's cabin. And you can see again one of those frosted glass windows that could just be lifted up. And I'm actually not really sure what it would be used for. My best guess is that passengers who really needed something could come and somehow interact with him through here, or maybe it was for other crew. I'm honestly not sure. I know he has a desk here that should also have a chair that's not here at the moment, but so you could be sitting at the desk, and then if someone comes and needs something, he has a window right there he can talk them through. And I think that's mostly it for second class. There's again, there's some more corridors we could go through. Oops, on D-deck, but they're not the most interesting. However, they will take us to third class if you go through here. So I think this may be a good time to transition. The door looks the same. Oh, the Master at Arms. Yeah, I know where that is. We can look at that later. So this is the third class staircase in the stern with green tiles instead of red. I know last time we were in this area they had red, but they've been updated to green, which is what I think it should be. You can see green tile like this on the wreck in this area. I think even in the last stream I discussed that at the very end and tried to find an image of it, which I don't remember if I did or not.
Yes,
but
you did. You
I
did.
did?
It was
Okay.
a very quality image, but you did.
Yeah, they look green. It's hard to say for sure, but they're green here, and a lot of people now kind of agree that they were probably green here in the stern, so here they are. This would be more third class cabins, but we can't really go back here. Yeah, I remember talking about the green in the last, and now it's actually green, so that's cool. This would be the C-deck landing. Here we've got the general room again. I'm not going to spend too much time in these rooms because these are ones we did see last stream, but if any of you want to talk about third class or any of these spaces while we're here, since you weren't here last time, feel free to.
Remy? Unless you've fallen asleep.
You may have.
No, I'm still here.
You're still here.
I'm the night bird of the crew who goes to work in the middle of the night.
Yeah, he barely got any sleep, I know. More accurate, but it looked better red. So I think this room looks better in green. I think the smoking room looks worse with the green. I really like this room with the red tiles. I don't know. Perhaps one of the devs watched my last stream. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. Green is easy. It is a little easier on the eyes, maybe. I guess you could make an argument for that.
Technically, green is one of the harshest colors on your eyes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Blue is the harshest, but
Feels
shall
easier.
I go into biology?
As we go back to these areas we've already been, maybe a tiny bit.
Red is actually the easiest color on your eye, which is if you ever look at like night camera stuff, why it is red. Like
Someone
night
mentioned the
stuff.
posters, so I'm just gonna go and look at them real quick.
And well, while you do that,
Yeah.
the like night vision camera stuff, it's red because your eyes adjust to red. It's nearly the same as darkness. It is the widest wavelength, where green is the most narrow of the wavelengths. Which is why a lot of times people with glasses get like the blue tint stuff for their glasses. Because a lot of like computer screens have the green-blue wavelength coming out of it, which is really bad for your eyes.
Not that one. It's kind of interesting they advertise ships for other shipping lines in here. I wonder if that's accurate. I think they'd advertise all of their ships. This is the stern. It really hasn't changed. So I'm not really even going to look around it too much. I guess one thing that has changed is the view forward. You can actually kind of see into other rooms now, which is cool. You can actually zoom in using the new FOV feature to get a closer look at that. I'm getting caught up on stuff I can't see. There. There's the mast again going through the window over there. Just again, really cool vantage points you couldn't really ever get before, since you couldn't see into other rooms like this in any other Titanic project. Even down here on the aft well deck, you can still look up into those rooms a bit. Kind of just imagine third class people just coming up here and just staring into these windows, you know? So that's pretty much it for the stern and for second class, I think. We've been through most all of their rooms. Let's go up to their boat deck, and then we can move on from there towards the forward boat deck. So go back up the forward staircase one more time. I definitely want to, like I said, see Adventure Out of Time image comparisons now that we can get those at the staircase. Because you could run up this entire staircase in Adventure Out of Time. Ah, they're advertising other lines. Okay, owned by IMM. That makes sense. That makes more sense. So, still making themselves money by doing that. I didn't really show it off. I will briefly do daytime mode at the end. For a few spaces at least. But you can see the fourth funnel kind of as you're walking through here, which I think is just a really cool view.
I really like that frieze.
Oh,
Looks
what?
like plaster. At the top there.
Up there.
That sort of cornice.
Honestly, I didn't know that it had a pattern like this in here. Everything I've ever seen of it hasn't really had anything at all up there other than just a normal ceiling. Should make that window under the stairs a secret conversation area. Oh. This one, you mean? This is, you can come here in the game and it does have images using this. And, well, we'll show that when we get around to A deck, but there is a, I guess I can just peek through right now. There is a fan room in here that's fully modeled. It's just not really accessible. There's a door that blocks it off, but I can use this Unreal Mocker to fly into here, so I'm thinking of making this another room, because we could for sure have people duck in here for hushed conversations about something. My perfect world would be someone's having a hushed conversation right around here, and someone else is having a hushed conversation on the other side of that window, and they don't know it. Someone should make that happen.
They're plotting each
The one
other's
in the
murder.
well deck. The one in the well deck.
I wonder how loud
Oh.
those were.
They probably were quite loud. I'd have to shout for that secret conversation. Do you mean like this area here? Is this what you're talking about? Because if so, this, I will say this is one of the areas that I did take images for, right here. Where you can look into the general room and over here, and it's enclosed enough where it kind of, I mean, it's still exterior technically, but back up to boat deck. Let's actually walk around out here a little bit. So this is the second class boat deck, which to me has always been third class looking. Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. I should get an image of that. I've always thought this is an interesting bit of design because second class would technically look down on first class right down here, which is something that I don't think was too common. There's your spot that you really like there.
My spot.
You always have very deep conversations there in Titanic Voyage.
Because whenever I know
Here's-
I'm gonna have an emotional moment, I'm like, I know where to go.
It's a pretty sizable chunk of deck space for them, honestly. It's all basically around the base of the fourth funnel, all the way up to this point here, which would be the engineer's promenade, this little section. And for reference, this would be the first class smoking room down there through those bits of stained glass. And this would be the aft grand staircase in first class down below here. That's the dome over the stairs. They've got this little raised section of deck space here above the smoking room, the raised roof of the smoking room. I don't know how accurate this is, but I always mention how you could see into the funnel casing for the fourth funnel and how natural light could come in down to the smoking room, and you can see the stained glass through here, but my feeling is that this isn't the most accurate design of it. It just seems a little weird. Like, I don't know, I don't imagine that people could just come and stare through the windows. Oh, there's a plaque on the fan. That's kind of cool. Strong Alley had big skylights. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think they're here. Oh no, they are here. Well, there you go. There's what the skylights to the restaurant galley would have been like. Kyle couldn't help model that, I guess. Through all the recent discussion about it. So yeah, these would look straight down into the restaurant galley and let natural light flow on down into there. Which, personally, that's one of the spaces I am most excited to see in the alpha when it comes out, whenever it comes out. I also thought this is a cool vantage point. You can see through these windows down to A deck. I don't know. Second class has the best vantage points, in my opinion. A lot of really cool stuff.
See, the more you do these demo things, the more I find little hidey holes that, like, I'm like, oh, that's a cute little use of space.
Yeah, I know, right? One of these, like, you have the stairs here, you have the raised space here. You also got this little path right here that I never knew existed that has these portholes that would go down into the lounge and, no, sorry, the smoking room bar and the palm court pantry right below here. So they'd let a little bit of natural light flow into there too. Like, I never knew that was a thing, but it is. This would be the dog kennels. Which apparently someone said could only be used by first class passengers. Even though it's in the second class deck space, which just feels weird to me. I guess it was one of the luxuries afforded to first class and they didn't want to take up first class deck space for it, maybe. Yeah, with that, I think we've gotten through most everything in second class, so we're going to move forward towards some first class, and then we'll get back to third, probably near the end, I'm guessing. So this here is the Engineer's Promenade, a little bit of it. On the other side of here, they had their smoking room. Let me look. Yeah, the smoking room here. On the opposite side, we're like over here. If we could keep going this way and go around to the other side, that's where their smoking room is. And I don't know, it seems a long way to climb up to go into another room and smoke. I'd imagine you could just smoke somewhere else more conveniently, but maybe I'm sure there was some reason they couldn't do that, like the machinery or something. I don't know. This is the lounge down through there. This is the lounge stained glass window. The Britannic's kennels were moved forward. That's cool. And Francis says, you sure if second class passenger paid for a dog to go in there, they wouldn't be refused? Yeah, I imagine so. There's all these rules about like, oh, this was designed specifically for such and such, but I'm sure in real life, you know.
Well, I guess you've got the money. No one's gonna be like, no.
Yeah. This staircase here, this little door that leads to some stairs. Let's just remember that for later. I'm not going to go down it yet, but we'll get back there eventually. Over here, we've got the compass platform, which we can climb up on now. Passengers not allowed up here, but another just really cool vantage point that I guess was mostly just for the crew. Passengers weren't allowed up here. Maybe they'd be nice and let a kid up here once in a while or something. I don't know.
Didn't you sneak up on a cruise ship somewhere and they were like, hey?
They never said anything, but I definitely was higher than I should have been. Yeah, it's not like people are watching these things 24/7. If passengers are here and they decide, hey, I want to go see the view up there, they're just going to go up there. A little notice sign isn't going to stop them.
I think my mom and I snuck somewhere too on one of our cruises. I, of course, was very nervous.
Imagine first and second. Yeah, all these deck fans, that would be perfect for like kids hide and seek games. It really does obscure a lot more than you think it does. Like over here, I can't really see anything on that side too much. So this is an area we had been able to explore previously. I think we can go a little more forward now maybe, but we're still blocked by this gate. So this would be as far forward as first class passengers could come on the boat deck on this side. And then we've got the grand staircase again. I can actually open the door up, which is nice. Before it was just always open, now I can imagine actually opening it and walking through it. I know the dome has changed, so they made it darker, so it's really only lit up now by the chandelier, which evidently is more accurate to how it would have been at night.
It's giving me why go into Titanic Adventure Out of Time vibes here.
Yeah. Really, night mode in this demo, I could put some Adventure Out of Time music over the whole thing, and it would be a perfect fit. The heaters got updated. Can't really see it well.
It's such a departure, though, from even what they had, I mean, dome-wise, what departure of what they had in the game, because they had that dome, I mean, lit up, and
oh yeah, it was like
space
so
was
bright.
incredibly bright.
Yeah, this is one of the spaces we will come back to in daytime at the end, because this space looks great, like incredible at daytime, and just it's so different than it is at night like this. Personally, I don't mind it. It's kind of neat, but it does make me wonder why they didn't backlight this when they did backlight some other things. We will quickly go forward to the bridge, because I think I mentioned in my last stream that the bridge itself had its lights on when they shouldn't be, and now they are off. There were probably, I think, God, I don't know where they are. I know there's shutters they could put up over these windows to prevent even more light from seeping into the bridge through them. But they're not there right now. But, I mean, this is closer to what the bridge would actually be like, minus perhaps some of this extra backlighting at night. Catching up on comments. Oh yeah, when you look in those windows from outside, yeah. I mean, we'll take another second. Look forward. Very pretty view. And I'm gonna also say those doors there, both of them, we can keep those in mind for later too, just like that one staircase I pointed out. So yeah, the bridge, very pretty, but the one comment I saw that I really liked from Francis is that when you're outside looking inside, it becomes very easy to see why people were so hesitant to leave, because you got just this cold outdoors, and then you look back inside and it looks so warm and inviting inside, and the ship itself, it doesn't feel like it's that bad. You know, maybe you noticed a little bit of a lisp, but then you got used to it. It doesn't seem to be getting any worse, so it's like, why not just go back inside where it's warm, you know? So, yeah, it becomes very easy to see why people were so reluctant early on.
But it's warm in there.
I don't know if anything changed in the gymnasium. So we explored this a lot in our previous streams, so I'm just going to move on.
How dull.
It's already going to be a very long stream anyway. Do we talk about the lounge? I think we need to. So there's like a texture glitch or something in the lounge right now. It looks better at night than in the day, I'll say that. They fixed this door, by the way. It doesn't look demented anymore in the bathroom. I'm not talking too much about these spaces because we did explore them so much by now. Demo 1 and 2. Version 1 and 2 of this demo, rather. Someone says they desperately want one of the heaters. They're pretty fancy looking. I like them better than the old heaters they had. The lounge, yeah, the lounge. So there's a texture glitch in there right now. We'll look at that in a moment. Ooh, didn't load yet. Reading and writing room, always a nice room. And like we said earlier, yeah, there's no bookshelf in here. So maybe that's part of why this space was so unpopular, is you'd have to go to the lounge to get a book, and then why not just stay in the lounge? Might as well explore everything again. Fine. Whoa. Door didn't want to open, then the door freaked out a little bit on me. We will see the palm
I
quartz.
love this room so much.
Which one? The reading writing room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. It's a shame it's not more popular in real life. It's honestly, I keep going back and forth. It might be my favorite first class space though. I don't know why I'm going back to the bathroom. This is a bathroom. That's what urinals looked like. They had fancy carvings on the sinks in first class. If anyone can tell me what this spare toilet seat was used for, I'd love to know, because it's kind of just weird how it's just sitting there. And I haven't been able to figure it out. This is what a toilet would look like. Kind of scary.
Maybe it's for replacement.
I like this special notice here as well. I know you guys are behind, so I'll just read it out loud. It says, special notice to passengers. It is respectfully requested that passengers refrain from throwing into the pan any substance likely to choke the pipes or prevent a proper flow of water. Otherwise, serious discomfort to the passengers themselves may be caused, and the closet rendered both disagreeable and useless. Passengers are earnestly desired to flush the pan before leaving. Just like such a proper way of saying, please don't throw anything into our toilet and please flush. Darned Tomlinskis. Yeah, if you've played Titanic Voyage, you'll know the reading and writing room is the room where a disastrous Kickstarter was held. Okay, back to the gym real quick. I don't really know what all to say about the gym beyond that the equipment in it is still very mysterious to me. And even when you see what it all is labeled on a plan, which I will just show real quick instead of actually reading everything off. Even then, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. You've got something weird here called the Exerciser, which I have no idea what that does. You've got some abdomen rubbing machines. You've got vibration machines. Trunk rotating machine. Back rubbing machine actually kind of sounds nice. Or a
the riding machines. The riding machines are the electric cams.
Oh, yeah, those are here. Yeah, this is where you meet Penny Pringle in Adventure at a Time. Get back so I can see the chat. Rubbing machines.
I would definitely like a back rubbing machine.
I think this is the rubbing machine. No, this is the back rubbing machine. Such like complicated machinery for that.
You won't rub my back, so I need one.
The seat on the floor of the bathroom was for children. Ah, so they had their special seat. Okay.
So they would bring it in the bathroom with them? They wouldn't just use it there, right?
No, they wouldn't. They had to take it in somehow.
Okay.
Although now it doesn't sound very sanitary because I imagine they just put it right back afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's no different than using a public toilet. Which I don't like doing, but anyway.
Oh, no.
You can, yeah, oh, I'm, again, just walking without talking. You can come out onto this bit of the A-deck promenade now. Which is nice. That hasn't loaded yet. I think, again, a lot of the reason stuff's not really loading properly is because I'm using the weakest level loading setting just to make sure it's smooth for you all. So I'm not paying it too much mind. What's this? Steward call bell. Oh. Why is this one labeled when none of the others have been? It's interesting. Deck chairs. I don't think they put the deck chairs away at night. It would be a lot of work to take every single one of like all 300 however many deck chairs there are and put them away just to take them back out for morning. Here's the lounge. So the big hot debate is this furniture that's apparently a texture glitch. It's white and blue now, which doesn't match the room at all. Apparently it will be fixed in the future, so hopefully it looks better. The lighting of the lounge itself looks much better now. The chandelier in particular is a lot brighter now, so you can really see how much light that gave off.
I like this furniture.
It doesn't look as bad at night.
Yeah, it looks better at night. I'll take a peek back in here at day so you can see. At night, honestly, if this is what it's supposed to look like, then I don't mind so much. But during the daytime, it's really not good. That's all I could describe it as. I think they actually up the brightness of all of the different lights in the room. Because it just seems way brighter at night than before. Like this thing is almost as bright as the sun right now. Like, wow. More deck chairs on board than passengers. You can see more of them here. And this is the staircase I'd mentioned earlier. It links back up to the boat deck so that passengers who are on the boat deck didn't have to go all the way back inside and take that roundabout way that I did to get down there. They could just go right through here. Very convenient. Waiting on the cabin to load. There we go. This would be Thomas Andrews' cabin. Probably my favorite of the like more basic cabins on board. Oh yeah, the aft dome's also much darker now. Again, I still kind of like it, I still kind of don't, but it's interesting at least. It's very different than what's always been depicted as at night. This was Father Brown's cabin, who took a lot of pictures of the ship using that camera right there. there it is. Harland and Wolff, bedroom B style. Yeah, that's the style of this cabin. It's probably one of my favorites for the more suite-like rooms, I guess. I don't know if I'd even classify this as a suite, though. I don't know. The A36 and A37 are strange cabins. Non-backlit dome is quite nice. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think I'll grow to like it. I really do. We'll come back there. This is the smoking room. Someone wanted to see if the music muse was fixed, but otherwise it looks basically the same as it did in the last version. With a few exceptions maybe, but yes, the music muse is back. So now all the stained glass is proper in here, which means I need to retake all of the night images of this room again. This
Yay,
is
more work for you.
why I should have just waited in some cases. See, a lot of these things that I didn't actually notice were issues until people pointed them out, and I'm like, oh, great. These two stained glass window portraits have also been improved significantly. They were very like weird color before. It's the history one, which you can now see a bit better.
I really like that corner below the window.
Oh, yeah, this corner. You'll see in like a minute. When you do see it, let me know if this corner is the one you were talking about. This is where this is my favorite part of the room, at least. And it is in a corner by a window, so maybe we are talking the same thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my favorite part too. So yeah, the history muse is a little better now, and the astronomy muse a lot better. Everyone manage. Oh god. Do you guys in Titanic Voyage have a tour in Mr. Andrews' tiny cabin? Another weird little improvement is this thing's actually got a bunch of like different cigars and pipes and a bunch of tobacco in it now. I think this is the cigar showcase, so I guess that would be why. I like being able to zoom in and read what the things say. So yeah, moving on. Gotta keep going. Here is the Palm Court, which is still probably my favorite first class room. I don't know. I'm torn between this or the reading and writing room. You can open these doors now, which is nice. Just lets you create different visual arrangements. Here's that fan room I talked about a while ago. You can see the A-deck landing of the second class stairs. The window kind of just back there. So I think for me at least, the coolest thing about this particular demo release is that you can see so much of the ship and see how it's all really close in relation to one another. Here's the other Palm Court. Look at the dome chandelier? Sure, I'll go back and look at it.
Palm Court / kids playroom.
Yes, that's right. This one here would actually be used as a children's playroom as well, apparently. It was less popular than the other one. I also think this one was non-smoking while the other one was smoking, which is maybe why it was less popular. It also has no connection to the interior of the ship. It's only accessible from outside. So for whatever reason, it was less popular and kids would commonly
I
come
always
play
thought
here.
that was very awkward.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, I think they could have done a better arrangement of these rooms, maybe, but
Just no access apart from outside.
yeah.
I mean, looking at the plans, I mean, they literally could have had another revolving door right there where that table is against the wall
Yeah, easily.
and taken
could've.
out 2 tables, but I guess not.
Yeah, because the smoking room, again, is literally just right on the other side of this wall. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird choice. We can walk down the deck on this side quite a bit, actually. You can see the outside of the smoking room. Kind of cool to see the stained glass from a different perspective. And we can go back into the aft staircase. Originally, the starboard side was supposed to have a revolving door as well. Huh, I wonder why they changed it. Oh yeah, let's look at the dome, the chandelier. How can I get a good look at it? You know, let me not zoom in on it, let me actually fly up to it. Using Unreal Unlocker. It's a lot brighter than before, I'll tell you that. Oops. It's pretty cool. Viewpoint, like actually up in the dome. I don't think they wanted children going through the smoking room, someone says. That could be bigger beads. Ah, you know, I think you're right. I mean, it looks better for sure, so they definitely changed something. This is the restaurant reception room, which hasn't changed aside from all the lights are actually on at night now. It just makes it look brighter, a little nicer. Another room I'm not super impressed by, but it's there. Cafe
The dark
Parisian.
dome is actually starting to grow on me.
Of what?
The dark dome.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like, I didn't really like it at first, but now I kind of do. I don't know. That's a cool vantage point. B-deck reception. Yeah, I'm gonna have to retake all of the grand staircase upper level images day and night, and a lot of the lower levels at night, because I stupidly didn't realize all the lights were off until too late. The Cafe Parisian, again, always a very nice space. I really like it. And I think, as someone pointed out before, it does seem very sociable. The tables are all quite close. It has some of that kind of feel that you'd get in second class more than first. So. Very nice room. Always like it. Big fan. This door here actually does lead back to second class as well. It's right outside of the smoking room on second class. It would be a crew-only door, though, so it's not like it would be really used outside of emergencies, or maybe by, like, the restaurant staff themselves. I'm not sure what route. Let me get out of this wind, because it's quite loud to me. But I'm not sure what route the restaurant staff would actually come to the restaurant through. And I wonder if they would use that door, or if that door is just like an emergency door. I'm not sure.
Well, the reason why the cafe's so cozy is, I mean, literally, if you go to any Parisian cafe, I mean, you don't, there's not a lot of room outside. So literally everything is, crammed together. So if you're going to make a cafe parisien, I mean, you got to go authentic.
Yeah, that's very true. It captures the style very well, and I know that's what a lot of people said, is it really reminded them of those French cafes. That's an interesting comment too, that this B-deck reception room's maybe a little nicer when you consider it as part of like the package of everything here. There's some cabins really close to it. It's kind of almost an extension of the cafe and the restaurant itself, so it probably was just very convenient for a lot of people. Also, the band would play in here too, so there's that too. The orchestra really can add a lot to a room.
I really think Titanic's layout was pretty perfect.
Yeah, the layout, I really...
It's just like in terms of room arrangement.
Yeah. I have like maybe a few minor complaints, but overall it's really, really good. Reading some of the comments as we walk through all these cabins in the corridor. Yes, Mr. Andrews is right. We have a lot of new rooms that are being added to Titanic Voyage, and like every single image has been redone for all of these corridors. Everything you've seen in this demo basically is going to be in the game in some form. So there's a lot. Everything's going to look way better. Whoa, the room unloaded on me. I may have found a bug. I did find a bug. I'll have to tell Derek about it, but I can use the debug camera to fly into here. This would be the Cardeza suite with the private promenade. Some inaccuracies in here, like that beam isn't lined up, but aside from that, it's pretty good representation of the space. I still feel like it's a little too big for my liking, but it looks nice. You'd never venture beneath sea deck. I personally don't like the... We'll talk about it soon, I'm sure. On the opposite side, we have the room where Cal flipped the table in the movie. Also more historically known as Mr. Ismay's private promenade. Someone should try and do like an edit in this room where they edit in the table flip like into this room. That'd be fun. Not even for the Turkish bath. I do like the Turkish baths actually. One thing I have noticed is that this B-deck elevator is now open as well. I feel like this is because the reflections are a little weird since I'm playing on lower settings to make sure it's smooth to you. So I just want to pull this up real quick. Oops.
Sorry, I spaced out for a good, 5 minutes. What are we doing?
We're on B-deck.
Oh. I was
Keep up with-
messaging my mom.
keep
She was
up with
asking about a
times.
pair of my overalls.
This is an image that I took from the demo of the elevator with all of the settings on, so you can see the reflections that I am capable of doing when I'm not streaming, but when I am streaming, if I try this, You guys won't see anything because it'll be like 1 frame per second. So just, I think this gives a better representation of what the elevator would look like and how much the mirrors really affect how pretty the elevator is than what we have right now.
If you put the ray tracing on.
Yeah, the ray tracing makes so much difference. We've got every image I've taken has been with max settings, all the ray tracing, so there's that as well. They'll all have really pretty reflections and better lighting even still than what you're seeing here.
Ooh,
Down.
It's still not bad. I mean, it's not, the lighting isn't good, but it's still got some reflection.
It's pretty good. I have like no complaints about night mode anymore, at least.
I mean, my opinion is that if a thing offers dark mode, turn it on.
We'll run around day mode a little bit at the end. This is C7. Very basic first class cabin, but I kind of really like it. I don't know, it's simple, but I just like that it has this porthole looking forward over here. You can see some of the well deck through it. Oh man, we haven't even gone down to Scotland Road yet. There's so much in this demo now. Let's head back aft to C deck first. Oh wait, actually. Oh no. Probably, yeah, so I noticed the lights turned off here in C55 for some reason. So it's a little darker than it would be, but it's kind of like mood lighting. I don't know. It's weird, but I kind of like it. In the previous demo, it was a lot brighter in here. Now it's a little darker, but it's one of the things I really am excited about the alpha for, is that you're going to be able to actually turn lights on and off and get different arrangements and have different lighting with those different arrangements. This is C57. Both of these were the Strauss rooms, which I think we talked about more in one of the previous streams. C8, yeah, okay. You're right, I had the sides mixed up. I always get them mixed up. Here's another toilet.
Woo, toilets!
Here's a bathtub.
I don't know, that reminds me of this one, like, meme I saw. I can read it.
Grand staircase is so pretty with the unlit dome. Yeah, let's go back up real quick.
Okay, so it was, Dear Amazon, I bought a toilet seat because I needed one. Necessity, not desire. I do not collect them. I am not a toilet seat addict. No matter how temptingly you email me, I'm not going to think, oh, go on then, just one more toilet seat. I'll treat myself.
Now, according to the plans concerning C55 and 57, the Strauss suites, they actually had C59 that actually was part of that. They never actually, let me put it this way. It was part of the suite, but they only took C55 and 57 because it was C55, 57, 59, and that bathroom that were all together.
Really? Wow, that's news to me. Wow, okay.
Matt's plans are awesome.
Yeah, hold on. Now I've got to look.
He actually has suites actually grouped, noted on the plans.
I see that. Wow. So it was C62, 64. Yeah, they would have been too, wouldn't they? Wow. That's cool. Don't knock the B-Deck restaurant. Oh, it's like my favorite. Well, I said a lot of things are my favorite first class room, but it's my favorite of the dining saloons on board, for sure. if you count it in that bunch. I know some people don't.
Everything's your favorite if you go by what you say your favorite is. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
I'm torn on my favorite first class room between the palm court or the reading and writing room. That's the end of that one. Here's a linen closet. Not gonna spend too much time in there.
No, go back to the linen closet. I want more action in there.
So those are my favorite first class rooms. My favorite second class room is the library. There's no question. Favorite third class room is the smoking room. And my favorite of all the 3 core saloons is second class saloon. My favorite of all of the places you could get food on board is the restaurant.
It could be
I'm
that
not
linen closet. You
undecided.
didn't give it a chance.
Okay, fine. Let's go back to the linen closet for a second.
Give the linen closet a chance.
You know what? The little sign above that simply says linen. The little wooden slats on the floor here.
Yeah.
The way that it has a vent pipe, I think. A vent, yeah, like a vent running through the top and piping even. Wow. I think I got a new favorite room, yeah.
I know, it's pretty.
So amazing.
I think that she zoomed in on the linen.
It was a very important part of the room's design. This
Now, I
is
wonder
the...
how
oh,
many
go on.
people you could actually fit in here. I'm asking for a friend.
In the linen closet?
In Titanic Voyage, you could throw a ball in there.
Yeah. Francis, you could hide a body in there.
This is the Marconi and Postal Clerks Saloon. And I always wonder how they would get back to the seats back there because it looks so, like, narrow. That'd be so uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, do they have to crawl over each other?
I don't know. I think this is a very poorly designed room. The Maids and Ballet Saloon's a bit better. I know this room as well. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in, like, all 3 of the streams by now, probably, but this one is going to be pretty significantly redesigned in the final game, so this is pretty inaccurate, and there's a lot of missing details. Like, it would have a bunch of hanging signs and advertisements, I think, maybe like the third class rooms did. But it's still just a cool space. I like these couches at the ends. Catching up on just what people said as we look at the sea deck landing. I was here before. I was looking up at the dome from down here. That's a cool view. Linen room ball. Great. Now someone's gonna do it, you know. Look what you've caused.
It is
Dance
my job
of
to
the
cause
linen.
chaos. I
The
consider
linen,
this-
the linen closet on C deck, the new A10.
yeah.
The new
It's
A10.
my job is fulfilled. If I can cause one riot in a stream, well,
All good.
I haven't brought up cheese in a couple of streams, but here we go.
Now you have.
I know. I said
This
here
is
we
the
go.
this is the hospital. You can't go into any of the rooms except the padded room. And I think, fun fact, the hospital would have primarily been used for third class people. Here's the padded room, by the way. If first class passengers got sick or needed medical attention, the doctor would just visit them in their cabins, typically. This is more meant for the steerage passengers. And that's why there's a door from this deck going into that staircase leading down to there as well, because the steerage part of the ship is just right back here. So they would just take passengers up through here. In fact, I think the third class doctor was even located just right over here. So they could come through this door here, see the doctor. Hey, you need to go to the hospital. You've got coronavirus or something, you know. They could come up the stairs here. Come through here. Go through the door right there so they don't have to go through any first class passenger corridors. And then they'd come right onto this side and be able to come down to the hospital. And then if they had something horrible like coronavirus, they'd come into these infectious hospital rooms. But if it was something more tame, they would just go into one of these normal hospital rooms. And that's how the hospital worked. Or if they were like a crazy axe murderer, then they'd get thrown into the padded room.
Coronavirus, crazy axe murderer.
Yeah, you know, either or. I think it could also hold second class people. I'm not sure if they would stick to their cabins, but I do know it was at least more customary for first class passengers to just be treated in their rooms. Maybe second too. I don't know. On the other side here, we've got the Barbershop, which would have a whole lot more props, gifts, trinkets that people could buy. Broken time by bringing virus to 1912. Second and third class had the same surgeons, so they probably would have, I imagine, both gone to the same place then for treatment. Two padded rooms. You're referring, yeah. We'll talk more about that next week. But yeah, there are two padded rooms now.
We'll talk more about that on Saturday.
Yeah. Which I guess is a good time to plug. If you aren't aware, we're going to be showing off even more the new stuff in more depth for Titanic Voyage starting on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, same time that this stream began, just on Saturday. So I think that's basically it for CDEC. I looked at the telephone switchboard without saying what it is because we were advertising our next stream. This is the room where someone would just sit and operate the telephones all day and go crazy in this tiny closet. I'm gonna play it as a story because I don't think I've convinced anyone else to do it. Oh, yeah, let's go look at that. Actually, that's not a bad idea. There's a cabin on midship sea deck that has its door open. Can we go in there yet? We can. Oh. It's not finished yet, but we can at least go into it now. So this is C-120. It's now accessible. That's really cool. This back wall is missing some of its detail, but I guess they decided that it's better to just let people explore finally than to try and hide that stuff, maybe.
That's actually not a bad cabin at all. And
that's what I'm thinking.
Minus the room, I need the space part of the equation. Really, it's like anything else. How much time are you actually going to be spending in here? So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted the luxury of having those designer rooms, awesome. If not, you could get away with staying in a cabin like this because you weren't going to be in it that often.
Yeah, you'd really just go in there at the end of the day to sleep. That's basically it.
Sleep, get changed for meals, what have you.
Yeah, exactly. Down to D deck. This being the restaurant reception.
I'm an introvert.
Not restaurant,
I'm
sorry.
in my room all the time.
This being the restaurant. I said it again. The D-deck reception room for the saloon, not the restaurant.
Also, I know I'm probably one of the few people who actually like takes care of their Tamagotchi and like puts them to sleep and feeds them and makes them go to the bathroom.
I ignore that. I'm not gonna lie. I really like
No.
the candelabra in the middle
It gives me
of
anxiety.
the stairs here. That's always my favorite part of this room. This room as a whole, I don't know. It's never been my favorite, but I appreciate it. It's better, I think, than the B-deck reception room. I think because you could use it even outside of, like, I'm just out here for a reception before a meal. You could actually come here and, you know, use this room for tea or anything. It also has some great vantage points. Like, I really like the one here. Just sitting in the chair like this. Really pretty. And for the first time, they actually turned the backlighting on the windows. That's something. It's a fun fact, is that all of these stained glass windows in this room had this backlighting. You can see here in the open one. That would help keep it illuminated even at night to make the room a little brighter. And it has a strange effect. Like, I mean, you can see the lights through it. I don't know how accurate that is. I imagine it probably is. It wouldn't have perfectly made it look like sunlight, but it's still kind of cool just to see that represented for the first time. Also, there's a little bit of flickering going on when I move that wasn't there when I had the higher settings. So.
Is Rachel talking about me or someone else?
Was the piano window closed in earlier versions? I don't know. If it was, I imagine they opened it just so you can see the backlights like this real well. And kind of get an idea of how you would open it up, turn the lights on, close it. And then it would create this effect where they're still kind of illuminated. May as well have left those lights out. Yeah, they're weird, aren't they? They're like so small. I don't think they would have really had much effect. I mean, they don't seem to be having much effect, even here.
What sort of things am I doing? I do talk to myself in my cabin room sometimes, if you notice.
I guess my guess is that would that have been more of a cosmetic thing? Like if you were, you know, sailing past and it was nighttime, you could see the D-deck reception lit up from the outside. Not like be able to look in, but you'd see those portholes lit up.
That could be.
Maybe. One of my favorite instances of talking to myself, though, was Mooney escaping last year. Did you ever get back to read how that happened?
I think so, but I can't remember any of it now.
Man, Rachel was also violent with me. What, she didn't know that I got Mooney out early?
Thought you killed the baby.
A lot of people messaged me violently.
This is the saloon now
She
with
got
the
out like on
stained
the
glass.
first or second boat, so I like wasn't even thinking about her. And then you guys were looking around like, we can't find Mooney. And like I started getting messages of like, if you kill this baby, I'm going to murder you. And I was like, oh my god, the baby's safe.
I guess looking between the two rooms, I can kind of see. These definitely look darker than those. But they still look weird with the lights actually visible behind them. I don't know. I'm torn on it. Can I zoom in to the chair upholstery in the reception room? God, why do you want to see that? I assume you're talking
In
about
the
these
reception.
chairs.
In the reception, if you remember in the movie, they had that scene of Smith and Ismay talking right after Ruth and Molly and the Countess all start walking outside to take the air. And that conversation between Ismay and Smith actually happened. It was the infamous "where I want you to light the last boiler" conversation.
Yeah, I've heard that it's not like exactly how it is in the movie, but I do know that that did happen. And from what I've heard, it's like Ismay was very excited, like, we should last the light boilers, we should get to New York a day early, surprise everyone. Like, Mr. Smith kind of like smiled and nodded, but didn't like agree to do it. It was just like Ismay was very happy with how the ship was performing, and he was kind of in a moment of like, oh, we could make it even better, we could do this, we could do that, you know. And
Oh yeah,
of course,
Moody had like. I feel like Moody had like 8 takers for who were gonna adopt her if the rest of her family didn't show up.
here we see.
I said, but she ended up with like 8 dogs by the end of the voyage.
Here we see probably my favorite.
Because everyone was like, "Oh, I know someone who just had puppies. We'll get you one of them."
My favorite part of the saloon is the middle. I really don't care much for the exterior portions. They're also a little dark at night, if I'm honest. I think these lights weren't as bright as these ones were. Maybe they had less bulbs or something, so maybe that's why it's darker. I just feel like this is a very, like, if I'm sitting here eating my meal, it seems depressing. This doom and gloom.
Well, it's because you're by yourself. If there were other people, it'd be better.
Probably, yeah. Ooh, I'd like to sit here too. That's cool. That right there. Some of the Greek gods in the carvings. These are my favorite parts of the room, is just the very middle. I don't like the floor. I don't like these corners. They're too segmented from the main room. They block your sight lines. I really just don't like this room. I never have.
That is true. You wouldn't be eating there at this time of night.
Yeah. Yeah. Where to next? Before going down, let's go forward through D-deck cabin corridors again, and then down this staircase. Staircase that I know Rachel knows quite well by now. And we'll look at...
The one she fell down?
No.
Oh.
This is where JP and the Discord thing, but it's a story for another time. So this is the post office. I don't think anything's changed here. This is the mail hold, another room. I don't think anything has changed. Just take a very quick loop around these rooms. Forward of here is the first and second class baggage hold, which looks much more dark, I think, than it did in the previous night version. This is like straight out of Adventure Out of Time. I love it.
Oh my god, I just glanced back at the stream and for a second I thought those mail bags were like chickens being like
Chickens.
meat storage.
No, we can't go to those rooms yet, unfortunately.
Oh, is there a meat storage? I guess there has
Oh,
to be.
yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds. There's a whole giant refrigerated cargo section that stores such wonderful things as eastbound beef, westbound beef, wine and spirits, groceries,
We can't see how it is.
mutton, poultry and game, fish, Bacon and ham. Ooh, that would be a nice one. Bacon, ham, and cheese. No, sorry. It's been dethroned. An ice cream room, an eggs room.
Bacon, ham, and cheese room. Well,
Milk
bye
and butter.
guys. You're not gonna see me for a while.
Just live in that room.
I'm just gonna be in the bacon, ham, and cheese room.
Damn, hold on. I realized I just closed the plans instead of dragging them back to my other screen, so let me open them again real fast.
I might also be in the milk and butter room.
There we go. Oh no, get the stream chat back. The milk and butter room. The champagne room. Yeah, wine and spirits. That's you. And you know, that's a room we do have in Titanic Voyage. Had it for years.
I can confirm Rachel frequents that one.
In the game, a lot of people spend their final moments in that room. Just
In the champagne room where there's wine room, yeah.
It was. Oh yeah, there was a wine room on B deck for the restaurant. That's true.
Yeah.
Dining saloons and the a la carte had separate storage. Yeah, that's true.
I like also to like because of the Tamagotchi system, the image of like right before the sinking, rushing into the palm court to chug your drinks. Like, quick, just drink 8 teas and a bunch of liquor.
That's why I want to change that system, honestly. Oh yeah, I gotta
It's just funny.
prepare for racket balls.
Oh yeah, but I can't hear on the stream. I have it muted, so is it?
Remember going through the first version of the mega demo and got to around the squash court and got scared out of my wits. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh, okay.
Last stream when I was downstairs with him, it scared me so bad.
Another match?
I scared, like, I
Really?
jumped out of my chair practically.
Yeah,
You are very good. Another match?
I'm
also
so
reminds me
bad
of
at that
the,
fencing game.
Someone said you should add it last stream to the game.
Fencing minigame? That would be kind of
Yeah,
fun.
it's just clicking. I mean, that's basically all it was, right?
Pretty much. Here's the dark dome from down below, which means I'm gonna have to get another image here too.
Wasn't that character a bit basically a gay awakening for many people?
Honestly, just not too much to see here, so I'm gonna move on. Nothing changed. There's Scotland Road. We'll go in there in a moment. But first, we'll just take one
I
more
have a
look.
story about Scotland Road.
You sat there for hours. in your
Yes! My
time playing the
very
game?
first year, I was very nervous and shy. Because I don't know anything about Titanic. Even now that I like can say I know facts that you have told me, I still don't know anything about Titanic. And like he was like, I'll come meet you and you know we could do a little bit of RP together. I was like, okay, where should I meet you? He's like, just go to Scotland Road. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. And so like I had to find it. And it was this long process of me like looking over all the maps and doing this research, and finally I found it. And then I sat there for like 3 hours waiting for him. And he was like, oh, sorry, I got distracted. And I'm like, I've been waiting here for you this whole time. That's my Scotland Road story.
Yeah, the
How
bath lockers. That's
How I
where.
got stood up in Scotland Road. My very first year.
Hey, this is new, I think, this hose. I don't remember that. I'm assuming, though, that's how they would fill the pool up. Kyle added a whole lot of tiny
Did I
details.
see that correctly? That said about it was about 4 feet?
Yeah.
I could stand in that.
Yeah, that's standing water for me.
For sure. But it looks
That's
like it could at least go up to 6. I'm sure if you really wanted it deeper, you could ask. Maybe, actually, I don't know, because it looks like the tiles don't go up that high.
Oh, what?
Yeah, here's the swimming bath lockers, where a particular incident went down one year in the game. Oh, they've turned the lights on in the Turkish bath complex now. I might keep the dark versions. I like how creepy they were.
I do like creepy factors. I'm a creepy person though, so.
Temperate Room, which I know is inaccurate, but I still love this version of it.
Oh god, there's a person in there!
Yeah, there's the creepy Mr. Ismay without his mustache.
Ishmani?
Yeah.
I'm on my 3rd drink now, so that might be coming soon.
I prefer this Temperate Room, this version of it, to what's in the cooling room.
Oh god, I don't like him. He's creepy! Ah, no!
I wish they would remove him. He is creepy.
I don't like him. He looks like a corpse.
He does. I mean, well, a corpse in that room.
No, Francis, both of us are drinking.
Kind of an iconic
Cheers.
image of the Titanic at this point. The fact that maybe that's why
Daniel's
he's in
here.
there. That's Willie.
Titanic Honor and Glory understood the assignment. If you don't have a dead body in the electric bath, are you
It's
really
not
doing it
accurate.
correctly?
Yeah, it's
Right.
not accurate unless you've got Willie Haderlitz dead in the electric bath.
I don't like it.
This is
He
way
looks
more,
like a corpse. His eyes are like staring dead at the ceiling. Like,
way more than you've ever seen before. Yeah, this demo is 30% of the entire ship, so if you are capable of playing it, it's...
no, don't go back to him. Why are you back at the corpse?
I'm already in Scotland Road. I don't know what you're talking about.
You went back to it in the street.
Friend is in very great danger. No, this is not the alpha. This is demo 401, which is... hang on, there's fan noises in Scotland Road. Let me get out. Demo 401 is a collection of basically everything they've modeled up to now. And not all of these models can be directly used in their new approach for the alpha. They're going to have to redo a lot of stuff to account for things like shear or just new discoveries, higher quality details. However, this is like 30% of the ship. Some inaccuracies, but it's mostly all here. Every single public room, at least a little bit of every staircase, a whole lot of corridors, some cabins, ton of crew spaces. There's a whole lot in this demo, and it's definitely worth looking into, and to me at least, it just shows the promise of the alpha, being able to walk around so much of the ship and kind of say, hey, what's behind that door, and go see what's behind it. I mean, like here we have a second-class steward room I can just walk into. That has a very loud fan somewhere nearby. That would suck for these people. I guess though, in the crew, you typically get used to sounds like that pretty quickly.
I mean, if you've been sailing on these types of ships for years, I think it would be just... It'd be like for... What's a good example? Yeah, I'm failing right now. But I mean, for anyone in like the cruise industry or the flight industry, I mean, you just get used to it.
Yeah, you really do.
eventually those sounds and the those bumps in the night that you think are like, oh my god, we're gonna sink, we're gonna die, or all of a sudden you're just like, okay, we're good.
Eventually, I'll get used to my neighbor's annoying dog.
Exactly.
Sometimes that never happens.
Okay, so across the street neighbors, I really liked our old ones, but they moved away. And they had a barky dog, but I got used to their barky dog. But we got new across the street neighbors, and they have a barky dog that's very much more high pitched. I haven't gotten used to that one yet.
So, posted in the chat the link to download this. I will warn, it does require a sort of pretty decent computer to run. But it's definitely worth trying to run at least. Oh, you know what it is? It's this fan vent that has the sound. Because it's this giant vent that's kind of been running through all these rooms that has all the sound from it. In that case, there definitely would be sound in that fan room that I talked about having private conversations in. You know what, actually, though?
Private conversation. Hello! Can you tell me what your secret plan is?
Well, you know what? The fan would obscure the details of what you're saying, so maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. This is just some third-class cabin corridors, by the way. I'm not gonna linger. This is one of the many entrances to third class. We'll see another one later, but there's another one right over here. As you can perhaps tell from the sounds, this is a fan vent that runs down to the squash court. Just to offer some ventilation to that room. This would be the Master at Arms room. I know someone had asked about that. Behind this door right here. On Forward Scotland Road. And this is the door with its texture glitched out that would lead to more first-class cabin corridors. Catching up on the shop. The blue upholstery of the chairs on E-deck. The same upholstery, or just in a different color than the reception room? I think so. I can take a quick look at that. Wait, which... Here. So they've got this kind of pattern going. Then up in the reception room. Oh no, this is different actually. The chair's in the reception room. It looks like the same chair, just with different fabric. Let's run back forward.
That cherry pattern.
So I mean, the reception room furniture is kind of weird. In the alpha, will you get to have a cabin? I'm not sure. I know they're starting basically just with the tour mode, so I don't think in that you would, but they are talking about doing a story mode eventually, and in that you probably would need one. But they haven't really talked about details of that yet. This is just a third-class cabin, by the way. It doesn't have... I could find out which cabin it is. I know people are always very interested in stuff like that. This is... Section B, number 19A. That's a weird cabin number. 19A. Why? Anyway, so there's two staircases going up here. One going down. We'll go down first real quick. This is just more third-class cabin corridors. And I like how it's centered around the hatch that's under the well deck here. But, Yeah, it's just basic corridors. I'm not going to spend too long staring at those. If you want to see them, try downloading the demo yourself.
I just really like the name Derpy Possum. I don't know who you are, but I like your name.
Derpy Possum. This is so narrow. Imagine if your room was here, and to get to your room, you had to walk around this, just through this tiny space, just shuffling in to get to your door. They got away with some funny stuff with third-class people.
Well, I also... Well, oh, geez, that is a tiny space. Never
That's
mind.
what yeah, see? That's like way tiny. I love how dark it is in there. I haven't gotten images of this area yet for Titanic Voyage, so I'm thinking now about what I want to do for images as I'm going through. I love these dark corridors. You have to shuffle down there. I want to get a cabin there now 1 year in Titanic Voyage and roleplay that. This is the third class open space.
What are those big open areas for? Is that for cargo holding?
Yeah, they're the... Maybe easier to show like this. On the well deck.
Cabins?
Yeah, on the well deck. You know what?
Like
Hang on.
crab.
Hang on. This is going to be easier. We're going to try teleporting. I know it's unloaded up here right now.
I got you, Shane.
You got us?
So Kelly, so when you're up on, excuse me, when you're up on the well deck, you can those covers come off, so they can literally just lower the cargo straight down into the cargo holds. But, so then they have to have a way to cover them during the voyage so that someone doesn't accidentally go, woo, splat.
Oh, okay.
And
I
so
see.
in the third class open space, that's
made a
where we
mistake,
get the dance floor.
I see. So that's like, there's a couple layers of cake that you have to get through before you get to the bottom layer. That where
Basically.
you keep the strawberries.
Basically.
Think of it more like layers of like 5 donuts stacked on top of one another, and then they put frosting between each layer so you can't just fall all the way through.
Yeah. And there's strawberries at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's a very weird analogy, but yeah, it works.
I get it. Okay.
In
So
fact,
you don't put things on top of that. It was just an empty thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go back forward in a sec, but I can show it to you much easier actually if I run back here, because
We should name these streams like educating someone who doesn't know about boats as they slowly get drunk.
Way back here in the stern, where we'll get to the last stuff we do. This here is one of those cargo hatches, but it's blocked off. There's nothing around it that's open. So it's just open all the way to the very bottom. So that would be the boat deck up there, and then it comes down through each deck all the way down. It would go even further than that, another level or two, to some of the cargo holds in the stern. And if I was to go up these stairs, keep in mind that the hatch itself is right on the other side of this staircase here.
Those like crossbars, do those things remove?
Yes, they would be removed.
Okay, so it's not just things
If
that
we
are
come
blocked.
back to here, it's this hatch right here, you see? So the cranes would take cargo, load it down, then
Ooh.
they'd cover everything up.
Apparently someone on the Olympic fell down the cargo hatch while the cargo was being loaded and he fell all the way down.
Really?
Didn't survive, that's why the hatches on the Olympic were raised.
Huh. That's interesting.
Don't make fun of me, Sean, okay? I'm on my third drink. I'm
Strawberry.
trying to figure out boats.
So I'm going forward now. back to where we were before I started teleporting, we got on this interesting subject because I like seeing just how they build around the cargo hatches and how in some cases
how they take the functionality and make then the luxury. What would be the? They take what's necessary and then build the fun part. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Words.
This is third class open space. It's a pretty simple room, but again, it also has 2 of those cargo hatches in the middle. These are where like
you could have put something on them.
I think in the movie, this is what they're dancing on top of.
Yeah.
In the third class party. Pretty sure that happens like at least 20 times per year in Titanic Voyage too. This is the forward mast. It comes through the deck here. Just like it does. The aft mast goes down a bit more. And I think a long time ago I said to keep in mind 2 doors that were in the bow. And those would be these doors. This would lead out to the forward well deck. So we've come like really full roundabout circle to get down to there. And unfortunately we can't go up to those doors, but they're there. That's how everything would link up here.
The stairs look difficult.
They're pretty steep, aren't they?
Like the first and second class stairs are kind of gradual, very nice wooden stairs. These third class stairs are like, well, we're gonna make it brief.
So we're in one of the...
accommodation. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Derpy Pasta. Pasta? Not pasta.
Derpy Pasta.
Maybe we should stop at 3.
So this is the what's it called? The funnel uptake. It was in demo 3 actually. Also, I saw someone ask if Cameron has seen this project. I have no idea. There's a lot of noises down here. Fiddly, yeah, that's what it's called. Fiddly. God, I can't hear anything. That's better.
Derpy Pasta. Your name is now Derpy Pasta.
Derpy Pasta. So this here is the fireman's passage, fireman's tunnel. Fireman's tunnel. It's the way that they would enter or leave the boilers. God, so much noise.
Wait, what did that say? Way? What did that sign say?
So that's the way out. This is the way in. So when you're entering, you'd come down this side, and people are leaving over this side. I'm sure there's a reason they split them up like that. I don't know. Just to keep it orderly, maybe. And men must break step, it says. I've heard that term before, but I can't remember what it means. All the way back here, there would be spiral staircases going up to their quarters, but they're not here now. This is an unfinished model, unfortunately. But we can at least see the path they would walk into the boilers through. I am breaking the rules of the tunnel. I have to go in this way, right?
No, you're doing it wrong.
I think I'm doing it right now.
It's so dark.
Men must break dance. out of here. There's too much noise. But yeah, that's the boiler room. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in there because I was already in Demo 3 and it hasn't really changed aside from the fireman's tunnel. I do like how the fireman's passage is actually, fireman's tunnel, whatever you want to call it. It's actually like a literal tunnel. Like it's shaped like one and everything. Break step means not
Shane,
walking.
are we going to see the daylight improvements?
Yeah. Yes, we will. This is third class dining saloon, which I think looks better in the day, so I'm going to save this one at least for day for sure. Yes, a lot of stuff to go through. Up here we've got the engineer's saloon, or engineer's mess, I guess it's technically called, where the engineers would eat.
Well, that's a lot of crew dining. I think that's what that was.
No, that was third class.
Oh, okay.
We'll be back there soon. That room looks better in the daytime, so I'm saving it for that, because we're almost at the end of the nighttime tour. I want to get there through it.
Oh, no, this isn't small room.
I think this here would be like restaurant staff or something. Again, I don't really care to point out stuff in corridors too much. This is the third class entrance where I'm actually going to start the daytime tour, I think, so we'll come back there. And that leads back to second class. Those would be emergency doors. They wouldn't be open like that typically. And then yeah, we're back here at this the hatch that I showed off earlier, which means I think we've gone through everything at night. I'm sure I've forgotten something too, but
Go to the ham and cheese and bacon room.
can't. It's not here.
I want to live there. I need to stop drinking.
So now we're going to load up day mode, and I'll say once again that the day mode is kind of some areas need to really be redone in it, I know, and they're going to eventually, but it still looks pretty good.
Francis and I have been enjoying our drinks.
I have two. So this is the third class entrance. It's a lot simpler than some of the other entrances on board. It's just a gangway with some chairs and nothing else really going for it. This is back into second class. We're not going to go up the stairs here yet, though. Oh, is James here actually right now? Hey, James.
It's James.
Yeah, we've gone through basically all of the night mode. James is one of the Titanic Honor and Glory developers.
Oh, hello.
And a creative director.
I don't know anything about Titanic. Sorry.
We're educating you. That's exactly what this project is supposed to do.
I am getting very... I have learned a lot today. I learned how the ship is like donuts.
How the ship is like donuts. Oh my god. So this is why I said this room I think looks better in the daytime. It's just so much brighter and nicer at day. I think certain rooms look better at night, but this room for sure is better at the day. I know a lot of people complain about this saloon, but I really like it. It's nice in how simple it is. I don't know how to explain it. And one thing I'll also point out is that I'm pretty sure at the time seeing like exposed piping like this was considered like to be a sign. I know, it's great, isn't it? Exposed piping was kind of seen as like a sign of status and wealth because a lot of people didn't really have plumbing. So I think that having so many exposed pipes around the third class saloon was probably a design choice. I've seen a lot of people compare it to, you know, other third-class saloons that looked.
Stop wiggling so much so I can stare at the tables.
You don't see a table.
What's on them? Is
Now,
it
for
gold?
all my budding RPGers out there, one thing that I do notice when I watch the third class areas, because I do, is that for the third class dining room, it's two-sided, and for a reason. One side was for women and children, the other side was for men. There was no family dining here.
Thank
So
you for
even if
stopping
you
in,
were-
James. Appreciate
Even if
it.
you were a family, you didn't get to eat together?
The family's good.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wait.
Why?
No, families could eat together.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Well, then I am wrong. Dang.
Yeah. Okay. Here.
I need to learn. Teach me. Who is right?
Here we go. The aft section was
Yeah,
for
it
single
was just
men.
single men. He
Okay.
was separate.
Forward for women and families. So families could eat together in this side, the forward side. The men, single men, would be just back here. In the aft side. Yeah, I
Oh,
really
see
like the
women and
lighting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going because I want to see some of the other rooms, but anyway, yeah, I think again the exposed plumbing and stuff was probably an intentional choice in that room. Sean says it looks like a military grade mess hall. Be a little harsh, but I could see it.
Cheap.
This here is again the open space. It also, I think, looks a little better at day, maybe. Brighter and prettier, at any rate.
What's that door behind bars?
Those are the gangways, the entrances. They would seal them up so that people wouldn't open them and go through them while the ship is in motion.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. That wouldn't really be good, now would it?
Wee.
Very bright. You can see the sunlight down here now. Door behind bars sounds like prison. The D deck, which looks another room that looks way better in the day, in my opinion. The backlighting's just weird. I don't know what to think about it. It's not bad, I guess, but it's way better when there's actual sunlight coming in through. C deck, not much has changed except again the much more prominent sunlight around the wells of the staircase here. Now we're getting up to some of the brighter areas. Yeah, I like aspects of Lusitania. I don't hate Lusitania. I think third class was better on Titanic for many reasons, but I'm not going to argue that, to us at least, the Saloon looks better on a ship like that. Oh god, people are about to start arguing because someone said Mauritania was the better ship. Oh, here's a better look at those new heaters. In daytime,
Ooh, I
you
like
can see it a little
couches
better.
and chairs. The kind of wooden looking one with the green and red seat.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're probably my favorite of the ones around the staircases. Ooh, I zoomed too far out. I just love the new dome lighting. It's so bright and much more accurate. Of course, you've got the famous clock. Very pretty in the daylight. It's like a very bright dome during the day, and then at night it's very dark. Very stark contrast, but I like that. That's cool. I want to go outside onto the outer decks because those also look way better than previous versions now. It's
I don't
not
know why,
nearly so bright.
but seeing the dome lit like this for the day reminds me of the one time I was on a cruise, and we walked out onto the deck where there was a pool. It was very wavy and windy the one day, and we were watching the pool, and it was like the pool water was sloshing back and forth out of the pool. And people were in it, like trying to swim. And we were like, "Is that even fun?"
I mean, it's a wave pool.
Yeah, because they were like getting like bashed up against the sides, though. Like, are you having a good time in there?
Boy, people are still talking about the Mauritania.
I don't even know what that is.
The Lusitania's sister. Which was a horrible ship. I mean, sorry, hideous ship. I mean, sorry.
What are you doing? You're causing trouble, I think.
I'm stirring up trouble. I prefer Lusitania to Mauritania for sure. I'm just gonna
It's
say.
my job to stir up trouble.
Yeah, well, I can do it too. Is
Yeah,
the
but my
palm court
trouble's, like,
lighting less
harmless.
aggressive? We'll look at that.
My trouble is talking about linen closets and cheese.
Mauritania's lounge is superior. Here I am criticizing the ship. I don't even know what the lounge looks like.
So I was watching the Honor and Glory stream yesterday, and James was taking us by the funnels, and I was just like jaw on the ground because it's just awe-inspiring to realize just how big these things are, and then to think about that. And then to think having up close and personal interaction with one during the sinking.
Interaction is a nice way of putting it.
Interaction. Yeah, I think about that a lot too. Like, just they're so huge, and when they fall, they're gonna just hit whatever they hit and take it completely out. Like, they probably did a lot of damage just to the ship itself, let alone to.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like when you go to a city and like when you see skyscrapers far away or something, you're like, oh, those are big. But then you're like standing underneath one of them and you're like, oh,
Hints of the dog kennel.
big.
Yeah. It's
Well,
the exact same kind of thing.
Like, for example, my first trip to Las Vegas, I thought, oh, those casinos, they don't look that big. Like, from the airport, they don't look that big. You get onto the strip and you're like, oh, maybe they are.
Yeah.
I need to try.
Looking up at something that's tall, you're like, I feel insignificant. Me looking at Shane.
I'm messing with settings and it's gonna break everything. No, I can't.
Why is everything getting all scuffy?
Because there's a reflection bug still. It's much better if I can't turn ray tracing on. Like, let me try this.
I like the idea that slowly, like, time is passing and the Titanic is falling into
deteriorating.
disrepair. Yeah.
You need to tell me if you can still see the stream at like any reasonable frame rate right now.
Currently it's still at a good frame rate.
Well, after whenever it catches up and I've turned on the setting. Still okay? No? Yes?
Let's see here. It's ray tracing just turned on.
I'm walking around.
It seems good. There's maybe one frame dropped every now and then, but so far it's
Okay, then
holding up.
we're gonna have to go through second class like that because of the reflection bug. This is one of my favorite views here. Looking up the 8X stairs, just how bright it is up there, the light coming down. It's just really pretty. And also, I mentioned before, looking up at the funnel, I think it's better in the daytime. It's just like a really cool view.
When you stand still, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. I'll try and stand still more often.
Stop wiggling.
No more wiggling.
This is a horrible plug, but I'm going to do it anyway. But if any of you have seen the video of me talking with Billy Zane, in our conversation, I asked him what his favorite scene to film on Titanic was, and he said the one where he's out on the collapsible, and even though you know things were inserted via technology, he still said that people running up the deck, and he said, and even when he saw, the funnel get added in, he said it was just terrifying, but so just stunning to realize that that must have been what had happened. And if you haven't seen that conversation, please go watch it. It is on the Titanic Voyage Facebook page or the YouTube channel. It's actually quite fun because you'll actually get to see me get a little stunned when he turns the tables on me, and as one person put it, do a reverse Uno card on me and start interviewing me about Titanic Voyage after I talked to him a little bit about it. That was a fun talk.
He does kind of start interviewing you and like, what's this about?
Like I said, I assume he gets the same kind of questions all the time, so hearing someone talk about something like that was probably really interesting to him.
Oh boy. Oh, the ray tracing is making your Discord drop and stuff.
Oh god. I think this room's fine. We're gonna have to play musical chairs with ray tracing on and off.
I'm sure it's picking up on your, OBS. It's just on Discord. You're dropping.
Well, it's off for now because I think this room's fine. Although I will say I like this room better at night, the second class smoking room. Oh, the lounge. I gotta go show you the...
Oh boy. I almost just fell out of my chair. We finished the third drink, so...
I was gonna say, I think you've had enough.
I'm done. No more.
Imagine Billy Zane being present.
Oh boy.
I feel like he doesn't have the time for it, but that would be really funny.
I will say that if Cal shows up on the ship in any form, I will put several warnings out that people are to not assume that it is him and need to behave in an appropriate manner. Because I have no problem shoving people into the pad room.
The daytime library is particularly bad right now.
Oh my god, Billy Zane made 5 accounts!
But again, they're gonna redo the lighting, so it's not like this is a forever thing. It's just that the daytime lighting needs to be cleaned up a little bit more for this release in some of these new zones. That's all. No big deal. Did I show the elevator? I think I did.
Oh boy, stream's getting choppy.
I've turned the ray tracing off though.
Is it? It looks still like it's on.
It's all off.
Stream's choppy.
Okay. So I'm feeling like Carlson the first 4 days of the voyage on Titanic Adventure at a time. Think I'm getting a little bit of mal de mer.
Oh, I didn't do... I'm like so eager to go show off the lounge with its furniture glitch so you can be shocked by it like we all are there, but gotta look at third class real quick first.
Guess it's just the lighting that is making it choppy.
Excuse me, does this tour come with a barf bag?
I can try going back to the main menu and reloading if you want. If it's that bad.
It's gotten better now that you're like away from wherever you were over there.
Okay.
It's gotten better. I just...
It was very choppy for a second.
Well, first class is our next stop anyway, so I'm gonna go to the menu and reload and first, and we'll see if that does anything. Because we need to go see that lounge again. And yes, as Growling Lucario mentioned, that the lounge textures are a glitch
It's
on the
Growling
furniture.
Linguini.
Growling Linguini, sorry. Yeah. The lounge textures are a glitch. They will be fixed, so before you get too up in arms over it, just beware that, you know, it's gonna be fixed. It's not intentional.
But what if I like it?
I don't think you will. Has it been... Yeah, if I go like right over here. See how bright they are?
Not yet.
You will.
I'm going through the revolving door. I enjoy it.
They're so minty,
Well,
they don't fit the
thank
room.
God that's a glitch, because that's a choice.
They don't
like it.
fit the room at all.
No, they don't fit the room, but I like that color.
I mean, yeah, the chair on their own, that's not a bad color,
Yeah,
but like...
DJ's right. That doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I kind of like it.
I feel like it might be improved already a little bit, maybe? It's hard to tell.
Quite,
Like, over here it kind of looks okay, you know? This looks fine.
I think it's not good.
I could live with this right here.
Color.
Or this is kind
The
of
picture I
alright.
saw last night was just...
Maybe they have improved it some.
Francis, burn it!
This is still too bright over here, I think.
I like it. Okay. The red pillows do not match at all. The
And
red
I think
pillows-
that's a result of it being a texture glitch, because whatever color they're supposed to be, the red pillows probably.
I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy. I like it. Not with the red pillows. The red pillows gotta go. I think it's a good color. Not with that carpet.
It doesn't fit the carpet at all.
No. I think we should design the room around these furniture pieces. Screw the realism. Let's base it off this.
It looks better in these corners over here, I will say.
So I'm starting
For a
war.
texture glitch.
Daniel's on my side.
Daniel,
Someone
oh
thinks
god.
Someone thinks I have a toothpaste addiction.
What?
Which is untrue because I have to use a very specific brand of toothpaste, otherwise I'm throwing up in the
No.
sink.
Now you know we're getting to the weird part of the stream. Exploring the ship for 2.5 hours. 10 more minutes, the ship will have sunk.
How is it? How is it? I literally just looked at the clock and it was 3:55 and it's already 4:31. How did this happen?
Time. So the smoking room is way brighter and
Time
better
flies
looking
when
now.
you're looking at ugly upholstery.
Yeah, you just look at the clock, then you saw the lounge furniture, and now like an hour has been shaved off your life.
I like it. I would put that in my house. Not with the pillows.
I don't think it would look bad in certain kinds of styles of room, and I just don't think...
It would match our gray walls quite well.
Probably wouldn't look bad in here.
Yeah, right? I think it would look good in our house.
That's my favorite angle of the room right here.
I hate this floor.
The floor is god-awful, yeah, but I like the room itself. And they, again, have just made it so much brighter than in the past versions of the demo. So it no longer looks like a depressing space to be during the day. Vastly improved. Suppose I'm in a Discord voice chat. We may or may not be. Can neither confirm nor deny. Let's see.
We're just voices in his head that he's ventriloquizing. You know what I'm trying to say.
What's interesting to me about the first class smoking room is that during the day, I'm not sure I would want to hang out here. When the sun goes down and the fire gets lit and the lights come on, it becomes one of my top favorite first class spots.
Oh, choppy.
Sorry, I don't know what to do. The ray tracing's off. I can try turning things down even further.
Just go slower.
Don't think slow will help. I don't think I would like to spend much time in here during the day either. Why is it getting so choppy? Because I've been streaming too long. It's trying to tell me to stop. I'm gonna reload into second class real quick.
It is about nap time. Ooh, is that like actual fire?
May have been. I haven't really looked at that room that much yet, honestly. Where did I want to go? I wanted to go... Oh, yeah. To... Assuming it's not horribly slow. The second class smoking room, or second class dining saloon in the daytime.
I think it's just the sunlight is making it get choppy after a while. Because it didn't get like this at night at all.
I think the daytime is more taxing than the nighttime. More lighting to render in general.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
A pineapple!
Someone says those looked like the fixed chairs for the room, so
Do you
I'll
know
have
the
to
fun
study
thing
it
about
more.
pineapples?
Tell us.
So they have an enzyme in them that that can digest proteins. And so when you're eating a pineapple and you feel that kind of like stinging burn on your tongue, that's the enzyme digesting your proteins in your tongue. So really, it's like a competition of who can digest the other faster. Usually it's you, so...
Usually.
Yeah.
Oh, the angle I really like is if you like line yourself up and just look down all the tables like this. Those are my favorite.
But that's why it hurts to eat a pineapple.
I don't really eat pineapples, so I
Because
can't
it's
say.
eating you back.
I can't say I've ever had an experience like that. You really like the floor? Yeah. If you go toward the edges, where it's very bright in the daylight, the floor is really good in this room. I originally didn't like these tiles much, but now I do, seeing it in the daytime.
Pineapples are still symbols of hospitality and welcome, even today. That's why, like a lot of like welcome mats for houses and stuff have a pineapple on them.
Sean says it's his favorite of all the saloons. Mine too. It's where I'd want to spend my time. But the restaurant still beats everything else.
Y'all like beige? Beige is so beige.
It fits the room well though. It's
I
like
guess
one
that's-
of the few cases.
Okay, guys, I have enough to go now.
Oh, bye, Francis.
But I think I'm
Bye.
almost done as well anyway, so
I love you, Francis.
Love you too.
Have a good night, Francis.
green is tacky, not pretty. I was thinking I would go to the stern and then start asking, I guess. That's a cool view. Ask if there's anything anyone else wants to see again. Or do you think I've forgotten about? Because I probably have forgotten about something, I'm sure.
I want to see your beautiful face.
I will say I'm probably going to flip to night mode if we do go explore whatever else you want to see. Because day mode has always been more problematic for me. During the streams, at least. I can do it fine on my own. But I agree with Sean. If Titanic's first class saloon looked like the second class one, it would have looked better. I know I just said that I don't want to do more daytime exploration, but I'm gonna try and run back to there real quick because I think that room looks best at day.
I still disagree with most of you and think that those couches were great.
Which couches? The green couches?
Yeah.
I don't mind them that much either, honestly. Oh, the stairs aren't loading. I've run too fast. Or something's gone wrong. Let me just reload.
And to Sean, if there's one thing, oh boy, I see the broken textures. If there's one thing that oh god, it's worse. If there's one thing that I am good at, it's having random factoids.
That's the truth. So yeah, I think the first class saloon looks better at day than night. I still have issues with it. Like, I really just don't like how segmented these corner pieces are. But again, if you're in my favorite part of it, in the middle, it looks really good.
For random factoids, my mom said that she's just stopped questioning. Anytime I say anything like animal related, she's just stopped like checking behind me on Google.
Into the void, the ship of dreams, says Daniel.
This happened after I told her that male platypus is venomous, and she was like, "What the hell? No!" And I was like, "Yes!" And so she Googled it, and she was like, "What? No, it's true." And I was like, "She's like, I'm not Googling it anymore."
Cannot wait to roleplay listening to my diamond-studded heels click against the floor.
I sit down, like you're actually, it's so cute. Like you're sitting at a table.
That's my favorite way to try and get certain images sometimes. Like, oh, I know what I want. Let me load the night version again. Then we'll go back to my favorite room.
I miss vacation.
And you miss what?
Being able to go on vacation.
Yeah. That was quite the time of our lives, 2 years ago, when we could actually go outdoors without fear. This right here. This is like my table. It's my spot now. It's got a nice book, got some drink. I'm all set. Sean says the saloon looks very clinical. Yeah.
Well, that is a very good angle right there.
Yeah, I don't want to do like too much showing off Titanic Voyage stuff today, because that's Saturday, but I got for this room that image. It took some time to line it up in a way I really liked. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here. There. I liked it from this perspective. It took a lot of time to line up so you could see some of the stairs through the door, and you could see just a lot of things. Took me like, I don't even know how many hours yesterday. Ever since it came out until like 3 or 4 a.m. I was getting images, so almost 12 hours. And I'm still not anywhere near being done.
Really late.
Yeah, I just was in a roll, so I just kept going. I knew I would be taking today off because I was streaming, and I would also just be playing this. So I took yesterday and today off, and that's been my life. What are people saying? I wish I went to your hospital. Okay. People want to see some more of the in-game pictures, so I'll show some. I don't want to show a lot because, again, this is like next week's thing. On Saturday, we're going to be showing
like 3 of them.
3? That's so few.
Just a little preview. Like your top 3 favorite that you took.
Top 3 favorites?
Yeah.
The problem is that a lot of them need to be retaken still. What did I do yesterday? Mostly second and third class stuff. I'll cycle through. This I didn't redo the nighttime ones for this room yet. I did the daytime though.
I've had some drink. It's time to nap.
So here's third class general. I'll just go through like all of the images, it's fine. I haven't done any of the nighttime images for this zone yet. I did do some nighttime images for places like let's do, where is it? There, Queen Mary facts. Yeah, I need that for something else coming up soon. How about a new space? We've got the smoking room entrance, which is pretty fun. Nice private conversations right outside the smoking room here. And then the smoking room, of course. It took a lot of images of this yesterday. I really like this one. I think I showed that one earlier in the stream even. This one's pretty cool too. That's like sitting on the throne in the middle of the room.
Oh, I don't know. It's not the one I'm looking at. I was looking at the hallway.
Oh yeah, I think that'll be great for just fun private conversations. I haven't retaken anything at night in first class yet, did I? No, I haven't done that yet. How about the boat here? Everyone was saying how they couldn't wait for this area to have its own images, finally. That weren't from Roblox, so... Here. Nighttime images. And I'll do the daytime images too, since this is a room everyone's wanted images of for a long time. I had to get one showing the funnel, because I like it so much.
Been going for almost 3 hours. What you talk about?
Going for more than 2.5. It is almost time to end it, because I am hungry. That's how all the streams end.
Asleep.
Probably.
No, I'm here.
Well, it's almost over, so...
No, Remy
let's
fall
see.
asleep, so I can be like, oh, Remy's asleep. We gotta end it.
No, the coffee's kicked in, but Lord knows I'll be getting some good rest before work tonight.
Someone wanted to see like close-ups of the parchments in here. I'll show a few of those before we stop. This is just like the typical paper that passengers would write on board the Titanic. This one here, I actually don't know what it is. Whoops. Can I best look at this? No, other way, FFV 90. Yeah, okay. I'll try and read it. It says, geography is a systematic study of the Earth and its features. Traditionally, geography has been associated with cartography and place. Namely, although many this is like a geography paper.
Okay, time to put me to sleep.
Names of places are not geography. Know by heart a whole gazetteer full of them would not in itself constitute anyone a geographer. I think this is like dummy text meant to look like it's saying something when it's not actually saying anything. Geography has higher aims than this. It seeks to classify phenomenon, to compare, to generalize, to ascend from effect to causes, and in doing so to trace out the law of nature and to mark their influences upon man. This is a description of the world. That is geography. Is this like a real paper?
This is
Someone
very passionate about geography.
Yeah, whoever wrote this is a... Is this something that can be read? No, it's just like made to look like a book. This is like a hunter's book of some kind here. Chessboards all around the room, which I really like. This is... Oh, you can almost read the title, but it's like... Lore something CE and LITT something something UL. Does anyone know what book this is?
Well, wait till the stream gets into it.
Caitlin. It's Tom's resignation letter. Tom decided as he was resigning to talk about how great geography is. Is what you're saying? Anyway, I've stared at that book long enough.
And little something.
I know most of these aren't like historically accurate things. A lot of it's just props they found online and stuck in here. I'm pretty sure they're gonna custom make all the props for the actual game. This is just to make the room look like it's actually lived in.
The faded letters are very ominous.
I should take a picture of this geography thing, transcribe it, and just make a character who just comes in here and starts reading it. That's what I should do.
Make a geography obsessed character.
Just picks up a piece of paper on a table. What's this? And just start reading off from that.
I'm gonna make the character who's obsessed with geography.
There you go. Now you've got your character idea.
I haven't had anything all year, so.
Well, I think I'm gonna probably call it here. We've got that stream coming up on Saturday where we can show off a bunch of new features. We can show off a lot more of these new images we've been taking. Answer questions you have about Titanic Voyage.
I'll actually be somewhat awake for that one.
Yeah, that'll be nice. You'll get some rest. I'll have more rest.
Well, I'll just say this. I had a coworker who stuck her nose into a conversation that shouldn't have been, and she walked out, so then I ended up having to stay. So because of the brownie points, I'm cashing in an early, I'm leaving early on Saturday. I'll just tell my manager, I'm like, hey, guess what? You know, I stayed on Tuesday, because my coworker, that one coworker left. Yeah, I'm cashing in my go home early Saturday.
There you go.
Thank
That's how do
you.
it.
Cashing in my go home early right now and gotta go sleep.
Yeah. I need to get something
Except
to
like
eat.
it's
I'm
dinner
pretty hungry.
time. I
I'm
can't
pretty
sleep.
hungry.
I'm not gonna get a nap today.
You never know. Maybe you'll find time. So
I
yeah.
have D&D in 2 hours. How am I gonna find time? I gotta cook and eat, and then I gotta. There's no time
Well.
for nap before D&D now.
Well, that's just unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate.
Thanks everyone for coming. It was a lot of fun looking at all of this. And again, you can download this yourselves for free and explore it, provided your computer can run it. And if you can run it with higher settings than I can when I'm streaming, it looks way better, even than this. So it already looks really good, but it can look like at least twice as good, I'd say, if you get certain settings on, get all the reflections in place. It's really amazing. So definitely would recommend to check it out. And thank you all again for coming. The white pieces are on the black side of the chessboard, someone says.
I didn't even know that there was a side they needed to be on.
I didn't either.
Real fast, story about chess.
I'm trying to end the
So-
stream. Now you're starting a Go on.
My mom's partner is really good at chess, and we were at the Renaissance Festival, and he saw that there was like a chess master there, like one year. And so you and him both went up because you both kind of know about chess a little bit. And so you guys were like actually trying to beat him and stuff. And then there was me, who I know like how the pieces are supposed to move, and that's about it. And I lasted longer than both of you because I was just like, I'm just gonna move this piece. I had no strategy whatsoever. And he would like, he was fighting like 9 people at the same time. He would walk around in a circle and just like move a piece, move a piece, move a piece. Then he'd get to me and stop and stare like, what the hell did this person just do? And finally, when someone, my mom's partner came over, and he was like, oh, you can do this move right here. And like, I was like, okay, so I moved like the queen. like right then is when he like it finally like a move made sense to him is when he finally like took me out and I was like, you ruined it. I was doing so good. And that's my story of how I lasted a while against a chess master by just being completely incompetent.
Okay, are you still able to see the stream?
Yeah, you're upside down.
What? No, I'm not. How drunk are you? We just went beside him.
All the chess pieces are on the floor ceiling now. Okay, now we can end the stream. Now that I've told my
Sure.
That was a rush of blood to the head.
how I explained how I nearly bested a chess master by just, being chaotic. I took like 4 or 5 of his pieces too. Like it was a battle for him.
Better than I did, if I remember right.
Yeah, you were done in like 2 turns. I think James lasted like 5 maybe, and then there was me going for like a good maybe 8 or 9 minutes.
I like how the tour of the ship is ended with a chess story.
Well, it's interesting because,
Because they are so good because people do habitual things in games and they can read those things and adjust their strategy accordingly. But when someone's using no strategy...
when someone comes in and completely does nothing, they have no idea what to do.
Oh, you know what I didn't show? I know one thing I didn't show while we're here. At the very bottom of the well, looking up. It's a good thing you told the chess story because people would have missed this view.
Oh boy. Here you go, people. Enjoy my chaos story and your final view.
Not as impressive as the dome, but still cool. It also can be in reverse too, where you can look down from above. And that's where we will for sure end it, because I'm really hungry.
You sure you don't want to talk about cheese for a little bit?
Yeah, I would just want to eat cheese, so... Yeah, I definitely don't want to. Here, looking down from above. You can also look down from above. From this side too. Really cool vantage points. So much red tile. Expect the unexpected. That's what you should expect for the end of streams. Exactly. When we just start rambling about cheese or chess or anything really, you know that the end is nigh.
We're tired and it's time to end.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, once again, thank you for coming. Please, if you can, check this demo out. And I should also add, consider supporting the team as they work on the alpha that will begin on B deck and build out all of B deck and then move on to slowly build out the rest of the ship. And that includes everything, all the rooms. So no more closed doors we can't go through if that becomes a reality. So yeah, there's my plug for them. And check out Titanic Voyage. There's my plug for us. Thank you. And I will see you all in the next stream on Saturday where we look over some of those new Titanic Voyage features. With that, farewell.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.